Jake, hi there. Good to see you. It's been a really tough Formula 3 season this year, incredibly competitive. A lot of very quick drivers coming through the ranks. And it's been 30 cars on the grid as well. But second half of the year particularly, you've been very consistent in terms of pace and a fabulous win in Spain.
No, I mean, yeah, thank you, first of all. Since the start of my 4 years in this category, a lot of people like to say, oh yeah, he's really experienced, that's the only reason why he does well, maybe even in his fourth year. But I was on pole in my first race in this category back in a day when there was likes of Charles Leclerc, Alex Albon, Nick de Vries, whoever, there's so many more. So I felt like I've been on the level, at least in this car and this tyre, right from the start. And I think it's just been a question of consistency, which I guess you could attribute to many things. Obviously driving and input from my side is a big part of that. The teams you're with, the level of support you have, either from financially or from the team themselves or from backers, supporters, whether it be F1 programs or whatever, which I haven't had the luxury of having along the way, I'd say as much as other people do. So I think over the 4 years I've done a really good job, but especially in this fourth season with HWA and HWA's second season, I think this is the strongest I've ever been driving, and I think the second half of the year tends to show that.
Jake, what I wanted to talk to you about was how you've handled the highs and lows of your career so far. There have been plenty of highs, but also a lot of lows. And without in any way wanting to sound condescending, I think it's really good for young drivers to hear from you how you've faced those low moments and kept your self-belief and obviously your motivation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, since 2016 is where my difficult years in terms of career projection or where I want to be. That's where the difficult years have been. I mean, the early years I was very privileged to even be able to start motorsport, where a lot of people may want to or can do in karting and then cannot further themselves into car racing. And I did have that luxury to be able to take that first step or first two steps. But since then, I was struggling in terms of the fiscal side of things. And so you can imagine that in F3 and in GP3 before that, I was at the mercy of a lot of other people around me, in terms of what they could offer me, where my career was going to go. And, I had to really, beg and steal to try and stay in racing, let alone what I ended up with getting, which were good drives. For sure, obviously, the likes of Ollie Oakes at High Tech really helped me. And then later, in the last few years, obviously HWA. And I think in those two important steps, I think they come in 2 blocks of 2 years, realistically, with when Ollie helped me and then now HWA. Every single one of those years, I wasn't sure if I was going to be racing again. And you come to Christmas time and you're wanting to relax and enjoy and sort of plan for next year, and I didn't know if my career was actually going to carry on. So to be where I am and still be delivering what I am and talking to teams and championships like I seem to be at the moment, I'm really happy.
Jake, what's your take on the dramas we saw in Formula 3 this year with the 30-car grids in getting out there for a free lap in qualifying, particularly obviously at Spa and Monza, and it seemed to be so dependent on where your team was positioned in the pit lane?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think even on the other tracks, there is a question that I would raise if someone wanted to listen to me from the championship organisers. That the guys at the back of the field do have a really big disadvantage, and they would argue to me that but that's just motorsport. There's always going to be winners and losers. But us as a new team last year, we were right at the beginning of the pit lane. We were the last team out of the 10 in 2019, and I remember in Budapest and in Red Bull Ring, where the track is a bit shorter in distance, and it's a lot harder to space 30 cars out when everybody's doing a prep lap. And you can imagine the knock-on effect, where the guys at the front get to do their warm-up exactly how they want to, even if there's no traffic issues like we seem to have in Monza and Spa. And then there were guys at the back which are crawling in first and second gear, just trying to create a gap, and tyre temp is going out the window. And as we all know in this championship, tyre is everything. So I think even just away from Spa Monza, we have issues with that. But Spa Monza itself, I mean, it's hard to know exactly how to fix it. But I mean, I complained to the stewards on Saturday after race 1 in Spa to say that they should have given penalties for what happened in qualifying in Spa, and that now you've set a precedent that you'll have a problem in Monza. To which they said that, well, yeah, we will be on it in Monza and we will give penalties and driver's briefing. We will give enough warning. And you know, I saw it the year before and I knew it was going to happen again. So it's difficult to say exactly. I think maybe one thing they could consider doing, either in the mid to short or long term, I don't know. 30 cars is a lot to fit into 5-6 kilometres. So maybe a split session on the odd circuit or even the whole season might not be a bad thing.
How does it feel right now for the season to be over so soon? So many races compressed in such a short period of time, and now it's not even the winter.
In many ways, I haven't stopped to take. It feels like I haven't stopped to take a breath, let alone think about things for the past 11 weeks. And I think some guys would have seen the advantages and disadvantages to that. You know, you can't take a step back for 3 or 4 weeks in between races, maybe, and you know, analyse and improve. And you know, some of the rookies might have felt that. On the other hand, I think all the drivers and maybe the rookies also have benefited from, you know, not having that break at all and just driving and getting that experience in a category where track time is quite difficult or quite rare. In many ways, it's quite nice. It gives me, you know, it's still kind of like nice weather outside. Normally, when I finish my season in the UK, it's cold and I'm you know, I can't even go. Don't really want to take my bike outside. I'm scared I'll fall off and break it. But you know, now it still feels like summer in many ways because I haven't really had one in the UK anyway. So no, I mean, it gives time to sort out things for next year.
So Jake, you finished the year really well. What great momentum there now. So what is the next thought in your mind in terms of where you're going?
Well, I'd like to be Formula One world champion, but you know, it's you know, if you want to say perfect world, obviously we all dream of Formula One, but you know, whilst I know I'm good enough to do that, and good enough to be successful in Formula One, it's, you know, the perception is everything in motorsport, and the perception will probably be the thing that holds me back getting into Formula One. Nevertheless, I don't doubt my ability, and therefore I think Formula E is the realistic goal that I'm targeting at the moment. Obviously their season was just finished with the Berlin final last month. So we're talking right now. You know, in many ways, it's like it's like F1. You know, a lot of drivers want the very little amount of seats that are available, but that's for sure the target.
Jake, great to chat. Thanks for your time. Very best with your next endeavours.
Always, thank you for having me.